Hey again, fellas, and welcome back to With a Y, and today I wanted to talk to you about a particular type of image, or at least one specific example of that image that I think acts as a good case study for this entire genre of image. You have a soyface guy with an I Heart Slop t-shirt that also has a Homestuck character on it, and it was posted with the caption, not by the guy who made it, how much hatred is put into this image. And looking at this, it seems like this guy has a lot of contempt for a lot of different pieces of media. But the issue is, I don't think this is real hatred in the slightest. I said it myself, hate so diluted it washes over you like a light breeze. What this post is really attempting to do is rage bait by putting just a bunch of random stuff on the image to see like who it'll get a reaction out of, but they overextended themselves. There's no through line to most of these series, and some of them could be considered slop, while others are objectively not. Like, let's go through a few examples. I will give them a pass on any of these like kind of friend slop games, because at least there's like a term we use for that, even if I disagree with Lethal Company being slop. But you have some like incredibly seminal and high effort pieces of media on here. See Invincible, Hollow Knight, Deltarune, Radiohead, Doom Eternal, arguably one of the greatest first-person shooters ever made. And then it's put next to shit like Roblox games that were based off other Roblox games that came before them. Without any hatred in my heart, I actually quite like Pressure. Never played Forsaken, but they put individual Roblox titles as well as just the Roblox logo in general. Fullmetal Alchemist and Avatar: The Last Airbender are considered slop on the same level as like a Hoyoverse gacha game, which again, I'm not a slop hater. I consume a lot of slop. I actually quite like Honkai. Sonic, I can take on the chin because we're used to getting beat up for our games not being very good and only really having vibes to go off of. They picked like the best Transformers movie to call the slop one, and N-word Pokemon 333 is here for some reason. No other Twitter accounts, just that one. And honestly, I feel like if they were gonna rage bait here, I feel like they really missed the mark on the type of thing they could be putting in here. Instead of getting too lost in the sauce on this particular soy jack image, I figured I would go ahead and make my own. The first thing we have to do is pick a soy jack. I say we go for the same one of a dude wearing a shirt, just an I Heart rage bait, yeah? And here I'm going to put all the series I can think of where people would get mad if I called it slop, but I have no emotional connection to any of those series, so I'm perfectly fine getting attacked by it. The first one I'm going to put on my list is all of Persona, the entire series, and by extension, the Shin Megami Tensei series. I've never played these. I'm told they have some of the best video game soundtracks of all time and are really enjoyable RPGs, and I will probably never play them to form my own opinion. I will simply use it as a vector to get people mad at me. Another one I want to throw on here is something I have a personal vendetta against. It's banned in my Twitch chat. You can say the name, but you have to censor one of the vowels if you want it to stay in chat. And we're actually borrowing from the original one we looked at here, an old classic that's easy to dunk on despite it really never doing anything to me personally. Homestuck. How would a list like this be complete without a franchise like this? Now, this is one I might get a lot of heat for because I just continue to rag on these guys despite them being generally pretty stand-up individuals and not hurting me. We got AJR on the list, man. Listen, that original one included Igor by Tyler the Creator. We have to get at least one in there. You know what? I'll even rage bait something that I personally enjoy. Just for good measure, let's just put GNX by Kendrick Lamar somewhere in here, man. Like, we might as well. Again, we're going for rage bait slop, not anything that could actually be interpreted as like a serious commentary on this. We need to put some actually good things in here, things that I think are good for it to be at all believable that I don't believe any of this. What else could we add? Oh, here's a good one. Somebody who already has this opinion could really think that it was just pandering nonsense to try and capitalize on the big bucks. Not just Shadow the Hedgehog, the fearless year of Shadow. It was nothing but a marketing stunt. None of it actually mattered. It amounted to nothing. Sure, he got his first game with his name in the title in like, I don't know, 2 decades, and he was the co-star in like a big budget, a box office hit of a movie, but it was really all just a gimmick. Those things were gonna come out either way, and were in development for years before this. Now here's a controversial one, man. Again, it must be known that I agree with pretty much none of the things and or opinions that I'm giving here, or if I do, it's not why they're being included. It's simply to make people mad. I think this one is gonna work a treat. H-Bomber Guy. That's rich coming from a channel like mine, but keep in mind that he is like the exact opposite of everything I make here. It is clearly meant to get a reaction out of someone, that it is being included at all. I need to put something next to him so that this feels less hateful. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my buddy Billy Sir Meow Music right next to him. Only people who already know who this is are gonna recognize it, and they know that I'm buds with them. Plus, furry. It could be anything, and somebody will take it on face value that, yeah, Quite's probably right about this one. Let's throw a fast food chain in there, because why not? If we're going for like every piece of consumerist media you can get, why not have McDonald's on this list? The other guy said Deltarune, so I'm gonna hop on this wagon of people incorrectly saying that Undertale is like worse than Deltarune and was just a test game or something stupid like that. It was a complete game that made Deltarune possible and is in itself an incredible incredibly seminal work. That said, there is already a primed audience who will agree with this because they've been having this argument on their own already on TikTok, Twitter, and anywhere else where you can yell at strangers on the internet. What else? That way we can space these out a little better, get a little more cohesiveness in here. You know what I think would be a really good idea is to put Ultra Kill on this list. That will get some reactions out of people. If the amount of people who ask me to play it all the time, despite me already having played it, is anything to go by, this is gonna touch a nerve, and I'm actually scared to include it, but I must be bold if I want to accomplish my mission. Let's go for a show that I really like and cried to several times while watching. An incredibly heartbreaking story. Your Lie in April. This shit killed me, man. I highly recommend this show, which is why it must go in here. It feels so out of place compared to the other stuff I'm showing. Even the other good stuff in here, it's like, wow, this probably helped someone during a really hard time in their life. Don't care. It's slop. If you like it, you're into sludge, and these videos would be perfect for you. You know what? If we're talking like slop, something that doesn't need to exist, that is just to like fill time, let's put the IRS in there, man. I pay my taxes dutifully every year because I know not to mess with them, but holy shit, I needed at least one government agency in this bitch. Next, let's do something that's not even out, and the only people to have seen it will have watched it early, which I have not. Let's tap into the rage of people who like the Snyder movies above any and all other DC Comics material. James Gunn's Superman hasn't even come out yet, and the hate for it is already strong, which makes it a perfect candidate to be squished in here really awkwardly with much bigger rectangles around it. Let's throw Thunderbolts in there, since that was the best received Marvel movie in like years. The one that people said made them actually care about the interconnectivity of the entire series again, or at least to an extent revived it, because it's pretty good. I went in the theater and left really enjoying it. I have a lot of positive things to say about Thunderbolts, I just really haven't anywhere, which is exactly why it's going on this list. Enough people are chronically addicted to ChatGPT, and enough people agree with this take that they'll probably think at least part of this list is serious. People who agree with me that it's slop will be like, but what about everything else on this list? And the people who have come to rely on it to write their schoolwork for them are gonna be like, no, it's not slop, it's my best friend and it teaches me what to think. I've read case studies of genuinely useful and helpful methods that ChatGPT can be used for, like speeding up certain medical procedures. That can't be discounted, but that's just not what most people use it for, and it is one of the most visited websites on the internet now. It's taking off in a way that like a new technology hasn't since like the original search engine. Let's squish Your Lie in April down so we can fit a few more things in here. Not even just go after Call of Duty right now. Let's go after a genre of Call of Duty that I have a lot of love for. I grew up on this stuff, and I still enjoy watching montages of it, which is why we're including it. Call of Duty trick-shotting is now slop. Can't be avoided. You are all at my mercy. Let's create a little more room next to the Year of Shadow, why don't we? I think that gives us room for one or two more, and then we're just gonna have to take it as it is what it is, post it to Twitter, and see how well that rage bait works. So far, I think I've included enough things in here that I actually like that people will know, at least if they know me, I'm not taking this seriously. What we need here is like some genuine film masterpiece. We need something that is universally accepted as good, that I am calling slop in among the ranks of things like Thunderbolts and the Superman James Gunn movie, that nobody even knows if it's good or not yet. I think Dune Part 2 is actually gonna fit this very neatly. Put it right next to Shadow the Hedgehog, man. These are like two peas in a pod as far as I'm concerned. Good shit. Good shit. And for our finale, the piece de resistance, I don't even know what that means. I just said some bullshit. Oh, I just looked it up. I did use it correctly. I think we should put the entirety of the American Revolution just slop, man. It was all aura farming and France coming in to like save us anyways by the end of it. And this is my definitive, not at all definitive, rage bait slop image that I hope will get somebody's panties in a bunch. If I was seeing this without context, it might even rage bait me for a second. But as the creator, know thyself. Actually, I'm starting to get mad at me now. Like, how could I even deign to put H-Bomber Guy in this list? He's one of the best creators on the platform. That's all I got. If you guys have any additions to this that you think would fit in here, be sure to type in the comments. That kwytebox email is in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Anyways, piss off.